welcome to the Schwa Mill, where every single Saturday at this time we help you craft your accent, help you achieve a more natural sound in American English pronunciation.
If you receive this lovely little box, your name will pop up. I promise. Now, wow, what a dead girl line.
Our pitch patterns tend to sound a little bit flat. We kind of are repeating the same pattern over and over again.
I don't communicate in English in real life, so this is from a movie scene.
I don't communicate in English in real life, so this is from a movie scene. So it's like movie scene maybe went down a little bit lower, but the problem is that everything is it is like if everything I say kind of just varied between these like pitches right here. Not a lot of variation, right? This is happening for a couple of reasons. One, our pitch range isn't enough, but two, we have a lot of stressed words, and when you have a lot of stressed words, it causes you to kind of restart very easily. So we want to try to cut out some of those.
Communicate in English in real life, so this is from a movie scene. I quote.
The section that sounded the most natural is, so this is from a movie scene. That's the part that sounded most natural. It's also the part that had the fewest stresses. Beyond that part, I would say each section had maybe 2 or 3 words per thought group.
I don't communicate in English in
It's like, I don't, stressing don't. Communicate in English, stressing English.
real life, so
In real life, stress on life.
this is from
So is also. I don't communicate in English in real life, so that's a lot of stresses. If you wanted to cut down some of those stresses, what it could end up sounding like would be something more like this. I don't communicate in English in real life. I don't communicate in English in real life. So now I'm just kind of stressing real. I don't communicate in English in real life.
The photographer takes good photographs. The photographer takes
Photog. One thing I will say is that our vowel sounds are a little bit closed off. I do think we get a little bit more air passing through. It's like photo versus fata. Notice that the second syllables, your ah sound like in stop or hot.
The photographer takes good photographs.
You could probably even go lower in pitch on your It's like photographer. Do you hear how each pitch goes down? Photographer takes.
Photographer takes good photographs.
Again, we're also closed off on the word good. Can you say good for me? Good, good. Notice that my lips are a little open, slightly stretching this way. The sound is like It's like good. Make sure you're not rounding your lips. It's not goo goo. It's good, good. Flower tastes good.
Be interesting to see the migratory ones, the males, and some of the ones who are staying here, like if you want to have females who are mature and ready to produce, for example.
I think the last one too. I think a lot of our vowel sounds a little bit closed off, and our contrast is missing. We're using like the same kind of pitch range throughout this, which is causing words to link together a lot and kind of be hard to know where does one word stop, where does one word start. And if your listener can't detect that, then obviously it's going to be very difficult for them to understand you.
Be interesting to see the migratory.
You maybe take interesting a little higher in pitch and see a little bit lower.
Be interesting to see the migratory ones, the males, and
the migratory ones. I would try to go lower in pitch on ones.
The males, and see the migratory ones, the
migratory ones. The pitches are too similar. You want to go down in pitch on ones. Migratory ones.
Males and some of the ones who are staying here, like
some of the ones who are staying here, some of the ones who are staying here. Again, the pitches are so similar that I'm losing track of the words. I really needed the text there for a minute. And as soon as you get to that end,
the males
and so then when we get to that new thought group, go up. It's going to help add contrast. And some of the ones who are staying here.
Some of the ones who are staying here, like
some of the ones who are staying here. So you're stressing staying. I'm wondering if the stress is actually on some, and some of the ones who are staying here. Guys, if you're already finding this helpful, I do have some good news for you. We have a program. We meet every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, in a small group class. Like I'm here, you're like underneath me, or like right here, and maybe 2 other students maximum. Usually it's less than that. And we do pronunciation exercise together. And we're targeting things like placement, breath, pitch, vowel sounds, all the things we do here. All of our classes are saved. In fact, we just passed our 300th episode of Mission English. So that means that if you sign up for Mission English today, not only can you start taking part in our program for our classes, but you also get access to 300 already finished classes that you can watch again and again and practice things with us. This is our current schedule. Consider if you're trying to get this sort of analysis for yourself every single day of the week, this is your opportunity.
So what is the purpose of having all that money if you don't have the time to spend it? That's a question that every one of us should be asking themselves.
Just quick grammar note. That last word probably should be ourselves. Every one of us, because of the us, every one of us should be asking ourselves this. I think you're using a wider range of pitches than normal Sycamore, which is great.
So what is the purpose of having all that money if you
So what is the purpose of having? I do think you could increase the range there a little bit more. What is the purpose of having all that money? So notice I went higher in the first part, right? So what is the purpose of having all that money? Or I could go lower. So what is the purpose of having all that money? So what is the purpose of having all that money? Or another way I could do it, I could start high and go down. So what is the purpose of having all that money?
That's a question that
That's a quish versus question. So it's a quish, more question. Trying to lower placement on that S sound. This is the S sound, like in words like best or get. In fact, a lot of letters actually start with this sound. Like, for instance, can you say like F, X, F, L, you can hear that all those have that sound. So just continue to watch out for that.
that's a question that every one of us should be asking themselves.
I like your stress on that's a question that every one of us. If I were reading this, see if you can match my pitches. So what is the purpose of having all that money if you don't have time to spend it? So what's the purpose of having all that money if you don't have time to spend it? That's a question that every one of us should be asking ourselves.
I'm just popping out quickly. I'll be back in an hour.
The first three words, I think we need to increase the contrast a little bit to help them really stand out more.
I'm just popping out.
I'm just pop versus I'm just popping out quickly. If we're doing this as one thought group, then the movement for every syllable is going to be down. I'm just popping out quickly. 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 Go lower on the E. So it's not quickly. Okay, I'm going to start just really quick with hour. See if you get a little more breath through. It feels a little closed off.
Back in an hour.
Hour versus hour. I'll be back in an hour.
Be back in an hour.
In an hour. You can even reduce that and see how weak my end sounds are. And then I'll be back in an hour. It's an and then more in an hour.
I'll be back in an hour. I'll be back in an
Yeah, it really sounds to me saying, I'll be back. I'll be back. Your B and your K sound are also really strong. One way you can test yourself is just say back like 3 or 4 times, like back, 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 back. Notice that for mine, you really hear that back, back, back. If your vowel's not strong enough, what's going to happen? You're going to get bick, 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 bick.
On TV? TV! They are so busted.
What is this taken from? I have so many questions.
On TV?
One thing I'm going to tell you there for your V sound, your V is very tense and high in placement. V, TV versus TV. TV. You hear the difference between V and V. The big thing there is breath. I'm getting a lot more resonance because I'm using my diaphragm more. Okay, so try to get more airflow through. Hello to Luis. Thanks for checking this out.
On TV?
TV, E. Like if you hold that E sound, TV, what's going to happen is you're going to feel a lot of vibration in your head, like V, like it's really high, versus on TV. You hear that difference between V and V. It's like trying to get the placement just slightly lower and also trying to get more airflow through to get more breath. Okay, it's right now. On TV, busted. So again, let's just do some real quick breathing exercise. I encourage you guys to do these with me because our goal is to try to get more air through. Just take a big breath in for a moment. And then exhale. Do that one more time. As you do that, put your hands on your stomach. Try to feel your stomach contracting. So again. And then contract. Okay. Next, what I'd like you to do, I want you to take a big breath in and I want you to exhale with like a shh sound, like you need someone to be quiet. Just gonna take a big breath in and then again, as you do that, again, I want you to try to make sure you're feeling your diaphragm contract. Try to feel your stomach moving in. That's a sign that you're using your diaphragm. Okay. So now let's take a big breath in. We're going to say busted. We're going to drag that out and we're going to try to feel our diaphragm contracted. Okay. It's like busted. The key thing is to constantly have the air moving through. Don't ever pause yourself or stop. Just keep the air flowing the entire time. And it goes try to get that lower position. Okay. Other ways you can try to get to that lower id sound at the end. Busted. Do you hear how low I am on the id? Busted. Busted. Just low pitch on the id. Another thing you could do is like take like an I sound, take id, and then just drag it down like this, like Another thing you can kind of do to test your limits of your pitch and also to practice expanding your pitch range is try doing some scales, like go down 5 times, like id, 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 id. Cool. I think that's everything. You guys, thank you so much again for being with me. Greatly appreciate it. We will see you later. You guys have a good day. Have a good night. Good afternoon. Take care.